welcome back to your postnatal yoga. I'm Rachel, so I have with me a pillow, so go ahead and grab a pillow. If you've got your baby with you, just have your baby laying down so your baby's feet are facing you. If you don't have your baby with you, even better, we can really relax. But sometimes it's nice just to kind of have some ideas of how to incorporate a yoga practice in day-to-day movements. So go ahead and find a nice comfortable seat. If you'd like to have your pillow underneath, just so your pelvis tilts forward slightly, nice long spine, sit up as tall as you can. Just drop your chin down to your chest. Sitting here, slowly start to breathe in and out. Noticing how your body feels as you just slow down and focus on the breath. Notice how the breath feels as it comes in through your nose, and how you instantly relax as you sigh the breath out. Really good. So keeping your chin down low. Just see if you can drop your head any closer towards your chest. So really relieve any tension on the top of your neck. Draw your chin down. See if you can touch your chest with your chin while you keep your spine long, sitting up nice and tall. Keep breathing in and out, in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth, whichever is more comfortable. And we're just going to really pay attention to how your body feels, what your body needs. So go ahead and bring your hands up to your heart, your hands in a prayer position. Slowly bring your gaze up, sit up nice and tall. Round your shoulders, draw your shoulder blades down to your hips, and see if you can sit up as tall as you can. Give yourself a smile. While we're here with our hands in prayer, we need to really feel your fingertips touching each other and working your fingers into each other, pushing your hands together, the bottom of your wrists pushing together, and slowly opening up through your chest as you push those hands together. Push those hands together and sit up as tall as you can. And then we're just going to look from left to right. So your nose is going to look over to the left and you're just going to follow. Pay real attention to your spine staying as long as you can. Slowly gazing over your left shoulder gently. Keep the chest open, keep the hands pushing together. Keep your spine nice and long. See if you can draw your belly back towards your spine. Just make that posture as strong as you can. And then slowly back to the center. Keep pushing those hands together. Engaging into those arms as your shoulders open, chest opens. Keep sitting up tall. You're going to slowly look over to the right. So just following your nose. Really good. These small movements. While you're here and you're looking, see if you can draw your belly back to your spine, starting to engage your pelvic floor. Bring your gaze back to the center. Push in one last breath. Exhale, release your arms, release your shoulders. Shake your hands off. Just round your wrists a couple of times. We're going to show some loving kindness to every part of our body. Bring your left hand out in front of you. Draw those left fingertips down. Keep the chest high as you roll your shoulders back and sit up nice and tall. And then the other side. Really nice. Release the hands. We're going to do a real gentle twist. So left hand comes behind your left hip. Right hand comes to your left knee. Walk that left hand a little bit further back. Keep walking that left hand back until you're ready to just allow your nose to go as well. So your spine stays nice and straight, using the right hand to get some traction on that left knee Just taking the left hand back, back, back. So you're nice and comfortable, you're not overextending, you're keeping your spine long, your shoulders wide and your chest open. Looking over that left shoulder. Deep breath in here. Exhale, coming back through the center. Same on the other side. So right hand just comes behind you. Just going to slowly, slowly walk those right fingers back. Left hand comes to your right knee. Keep the shoulders nice and open. Rolling the shoulders. Chest stays open. Just twisting gently, gently. Looking over that right shoulder. You may get a little click in your back. You may just need to keep that focus on twisting, keeping the spine as tall as you can. Those sit bones rooted down, the crown of the head sitting up tall. And then slowly finding your way back to the center. So we're going to really focus today on those shoulders and neck, showing a little bit of love and kindness. We spend so much time obviously feeding, nursing. So whether you're breastfeeding or bottle feeding, you do tend to kind of round your shoulders a little bit. So just that act of opening up and creating that nice open chest will instantly make you feel just a little bit more better, a little bit more awake. So just go ahead, roll those shoulders, a couple of rolls up and down and forward. And remember, you can do this all the time, okay? So just if there's something that feels good to you, just really kind of log it in your brain anytime you've got a minute, or if something doesn't feel comfortable, just get that movement and move around. Really good. So we're going to just really focus on rolling those shoulders away from your ears, so feeling those shoulders melt away. Your left hand is going to walk over to the left as much as you can. Now, spider fingers, so you're going to root down through that left fingertip. But now we're going to turn your body to the right and reach the right hand up. You're going to look up to that right fingertips. As you exhale, you're going to sweep that right hand forward, down to meet that left hand. Inhale, open it up. See if you can go all the way back behind. Nice big semicircle up and across. So it's like a diagonal semicircle. Up and back. Once more, up and across. Up and back. Good. Hold it here. And then bring that right hand to your knee. Take a little bit further now. Walk those left hands out to the left. Bend into the left elbow. Root down onto the floor with that left fingertip, sorry. Bend the left elbow. Right hand from left to right. Keep that collarbone nice and open. And then your right hand's going to come up. Once you're up, check in. Your neck's either looking down or looking up. Whatever feels good. And I want you to reach that right hand over to the left as far as you can go without crouching your shoulders, okay? So keeping it nice and open, just using the breath, breathing in and exhale, reach over. Keep both sit bones rooted down, so you don't want to be lifting up, you want to keep that bum on the floor. Keep the chest open, breathe in here, stretch the whole side body, exhale, good, and come back up. Beautiful. So really should feel nice and long on your right side now. So we can do the same on the other side. So right hand just comes out to the side, right fingertips on the floor. Left hand, reach over to the right and then up. Okay, so we're going to do that nice big semicircle. Take the left hand back, up and around. Try and do it fluidly with the breath. Back, up and around. Up, back, up and around. Good. Right fingertips on the floor, bend into the right elbow. Just sweep your left hand to your right shoulder, almost as if you're just peeling your shoulders open. And then your right hand comes up. Bending into the right elbow, reaching the left arm up and over. Keep those sit bones on the floor. Keep the chest open. Check your neck. Look down, look up. So whatever feels good. Reach over, breathing in here. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. One more. Do 3. Breathe in. Exhale and release. Beautiful. Okay, roll the shoulders. So now we should start to feel a little bit more longer. Okay? So hands just come onto your knees. I just want you to use those hands just to draw your chest forward and back, like keeping your hips nice and mobile. So rocking forwards and back. Nice. So we're going to stretch out through your legs now. So just coming up onto your knees, coming forward into your tabletop position. I'll always say have your baby at eye level. So you just bring your hands outside your baby's shoulders and so that you can look forward. So I'm just going to shuffle my baby over to the side. So on your tabletop position, your hands are on the floor. Knees nice and wide, okay? Knees are wider than the mat here, feet are wider than the mat. I just want you to sway your hips from side to side because this is about feeling good. If it doesn't feel good on your wrists, you want to come down onto your elbows, okay? So this is just about feeling good, moving your body and keeping that connection with your baby and just making sure that everything you do here is nourishing and just filling you up with loving kindness. Rocking those shoulders, rocking those hips. You're going to bring your toes together, sit your hips back onto your heels, finding a child's pose, head comes down. Using the breath now just to really lengthen and just taking a moment to restore and breathe and be still. Gently allowing the breath in through your nose. Maybe you want to sigh the breath out, depending on how you feel, just sighing the breath out. If you visualize your hips sitting back on towards your heels, see if you can lower those hips down a little bit more. Increasing the stretch through your spine, increasing the stretch through your arms. Deep breath in and sigh the breath out. One more. Enjoying the stillness, the lengthening. Checking into those tight hips, tight shoulders, and using the breath just to release. Being kind to yourself, not pushing. Deep breath in here. And sigh the breath out. Slowly making your way back onto all fours. This time you want to have your arms a little bit wider than your mat, than your baby. So taking your hands a little bit wider than the mat. Knees can be under your hips or they can be wider than the mat. You want to walk your hands back because you want to have space to bring your chest down onto the floor. So this one is for your shoulders, okay? So looking down on the floor, I want you to bend your left elbow and draw your right shoulder down and then come back up. So this time you're going to bend your left elbow again, draw your right shoulder down. So I'm just going to change direction so that you can see hands nice and wide. Left elbow bends, right elbow comes down. Breathe here and then come back up. We're going to do 3 on this side and 3 on the other. Left elbow bends, right elbow comes down. Push yourself up. Right elbow, left elbow bends, right elbow comes down. And then coming back up. Take a child's pose just to stretch it out and rock your shoulders. Walk your hands forward and then bring yourself back up. We'll do the same on the other side. So this time, nice wide hands, bending the right elbow, drawing your left shoulder down. And just notice that it always feels different on both sides. So it may take a couple of tries to get your shoulder down on the floor. Opening up, one more. And relax. Sit back into that child's pose, hands reach forward, head to the floor. Lengthen through the spine and give yourself 3 breaths just to release tension in your spine, in your hips, in your shoulders. Again, in. In. Good. Walk your hands back to under your shoulders. We'll come back onto your tabletop position. From your tabletop position, we're just going to slowly move through the spine. So knees can be wide. We're going to just sway your hips side to side. And then start now just to engage into your pelvic floor. The best way to do that here is just to look down. I will always say have your thumbs kind of touching or in line, so you can gaze at that space in between your thumbs. So your knees are under your hips, shoulders over your wrists, and you're swaying side to side, and your spine's long. You've got no dips in your spine. But what I want you to do is imagine you're drawing your belly back in towards your spine. So hug that belly in, beautiful, nice and tight, drawing everything into the midline. And then just hold it there and breathe naturally, okay? So imagining you're squeezing yourself into a pair of jeans. You're drawing that belly up, everything's tight, and you're just gently breathing naturally while you're holding everything in, okay? Just toning those muscles, really tightening the lower abdominals, upper abdominals, and imagine everything zipping up into the midline. So you're going to keep that breath held, nice. Keep that belly held, sorry, not breath, keep the breath flowing. On the next inhale, I want you to drop your belly down and push your hips up. So release any tension, lovely dip in your lower back as you push those hips up. Now round your shoulders, open up through your chest, push down through the floor and look up. And then as you exhale, tilt the pelvis under. Stretch the shoulders up to the ceiling and look down through your legs. Head is nice and heavy. Again, inhale, drop your belly, tilt the pelvis, roll the shoulders, open up through the chest and look up. Exhale, tilt the pelvis under. Stretch your shoulders up, look through your legs. Squeeze those shoulders high to the ceiling. Deep breath as you tilt your pelvis up, drop your belly down. Round the shoulders, chest is open, look up. And exhale, round the spine. Tuck the sit bone under, stretch the shoulders high. Take your knees to the edge of the mat, toes together. Take another child's pose just to lengthen. This time, walk your hands forward as far as you can. Rest your head on the floor. Lengthen through the side body. Lengthen through the back, through your arms. Open up through your hips. Keep breathing. And sigh the breath out. And again, in, out, in, out. Really good. Coming back onto your hands. Knees come back in underneath your hips. Tuck your toes. We're going to sit back into a downward dog. So lift your knees up, engaging into your belly. So draw your belly back towards your spine, engage your pelvic floor. Sit your hips back to your heels, and then lift your hips up high. You can keep your knees bent here. Look up towards your belly button. Then take it in turns to pedal your feet. So drop the right heel down, swap sides, drop the left heel down. Keep moving, keep breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Nice and slow. Come back up onto your tiptoes. Lower your knees back down onto the floor. Releasing your feet. We're just going to bring your hands forward slightly. So I'm just going to shuffle forward so that you can see. So from our tabletop, we're going to move into a puppy dog position. So you walk your hands forward, forward, forward. Keep your hips lifted. Chest comes down, chin to the floor. Stretching out those shoulders. Breathing in, breathing out. Hold it here. 2 more breaths. And then slowly walking your hands back to underneath your shoulders. Coming back into your tabletop position and just engaging into your pelvic floor. Swaying your hips from side to side. Taking another child's pose. So sitting back onto your heels. Dropping your head down. And breathing. Always coming back to the breath. Giving yourself that rest. Slowly walking your hands back onto the mat so that your hands are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. You're going to take your right foot to the back of the mat and tuck the right toe. You're going to just roll your right heel back and forward, back and forward. Draw your belly back to your spine, hug your belly in. Come to stillness, lift that right foot off the floor. Flex that right toe and push the right foot away from you. Draw everything into the midline, hug your belly in, engage through that pelvic floor and engage through that right leg. Test yourself, bring your left hand out in front of you, palm facing in. Keep those hips level, breathing in, breathing out. Hold it here. And then release. Take a cat-cow just to engage, stretch out the spine. So belly down as you inhale, wiggle those hips, roll the shoulders, chest is up. Exhale, round it out. Tuck this sit bone under, stretch the shoulders high. Find that neutral spine again. Come onto the left side. Left toe tucked in. Draw that heel back, forward. Back, forward. Back, forward, and then just lift that left foot up off the floor. Flexing that left foot, keeping the left hip level, so no dips in the spine. Draw your belly up to your spine, hug those ribs in, and then reach the right hand forward. So you've got one long line. Your belly's tucked in, your pelvic floor strong, your legs strong. You're drawing everything into the midline. Give your baby a smile. Exhale, release. Drop your belly to inhale, wiggle those hips. Sit back into that child's pose with the knees nice and wide. Hands reach forward. And breathe here, head on the floor. Bring your hands back. Bring yourself back into your tabletop position. We're going to work our way down into a Sphinx pose. So before we do that, I'm going to come into an easy plank. So your hips are in line with your shoulders, knees are on the floor, top of the feet are resting on the floor, your shoulders are over your wrists. So hug your belly in, draw your hips forward, and your elbows are going to tuck in nice and tight to your torso as you lower down. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now your chest's not going to come from the floor. We're going to bring your elbows onto the floor underneath your shoulders, okay? So I'll show you on the pillow. The elbows and forearms are on the floor. You're going to roll your shoulders and lift your chest. Point your toes away from you and breathe here. So this is just counteracting all of that compression we do when you're feeding, and just really helping to increase your shoulders mobility, your chest opening, and just allowing as much breath inside your body as you can. Now squeeze your bum and point your toes away from you. Keep pushing down through your hands, your fingers, your knuckles, your wrists, your elbows and forearms on the floor. Pushing down, lifting up, feeling a lovely stretch in your lower back as you lift your chest. Maybe looking over your left shoulder, maybe over your right shoulder. Keep breathing here. Keep moving. And then slowly sitting back into your child's pose. So hands come back onto the floor. Push yourself back, knees to the end, edges of the mat, sitting on those heels. Walk your hands forward, lengthen through the spine. Breathing here, 3 breaths. And then slowly bring yourself back up. And sit yourself back on the floor. So bringing baby back in front of you. Legs are crossed. Sitting nice and tall. Rounding those shoulders again. Chin just comes down to your chest. Bring your hands to your heart. We'll seal our practice. Namaste.